I'm going to talk to you guys about how to develop a quick moisturizing regimen. Very simple, and basically a regimen is just basically something that you do on a consistent basis, okay? What consistency is for you and what consistency for me, it may be two different things, and whatever your consistency is, you just want to make sure that you're following what your consistency is, okay? One of the foundations of natural hair is consistency, okay? If you see these people who are natural hair gurus and all of this stuff, they generally follow a hair regimen and they are consistent. So you have to make sure that you are being consistent with your hair regimen, okay? So that's the first thing I want you to remember about our little chat we're having tonight, is that you want to make sure that you are being consistent with your hair regimen, okay? So if you guys are ready to get into the meat of what we have to talk about, go ahead in the comments and put your favorite emoji. Whatever your favorite emoji is, go ahead and put that in the comments so that I can know that you guys are ready to hear some natural hair knowledge on how to get that hair moisturized and booming. And I'm trying to follow the comments, and if I miss anything, please, please, please forgive me. I see that we have our Naturalistas in the building, so please make sure that you share us out and get some Naturalistas in here. If you are on the replay, please share us. Make sure that you are following the Girl Power Ignite page. Awesome. Yes, be consistent with your hair regimen. Consistency is the key. Okay, so I see those emojis coming through, so that lets me know that you guys are ready. So we're going to go ahead and get it popping. Yes, let's do it. Okay, so in order to build, before we start, bring back a little bit. Before we start building a hair regimen of any kind, whether it's a styling regimen, moisturizing regimen, cleansing regimen, whatever. Before we do any of those things, the first thing we need to do is to have a little bit of knowledge of why we're doing what we're doing, okay? And so one thing we need to understand about natural hair is that it's very important for us to get moisture in our hair, because our hair just tends to be a little drier, which tends to be more prone to breakage. You may ask me why. Why is natural hair more prone to breakage? Breakage and dryness. And the reason is because of the way that our hair strand is constructed, the way that it looks. So if you have someone who has straight hair, you will notice that their hair strand is just simply up and down. Because it's up and down, it's very easy for moisture to be able to get into the hair shaft. With our hair, afro, kinky hair, or curly hair, spiral, whatever word you want to use to describe our hair has all these turns, it has zigzags, it has spirals, it has bends, it has all these things in the hair shaft, because of the way that it's made, which makes it kind of hard for moisture to get into our hair. So that's why our hair tends to be more dry. It tends to lack moisture because of the fact that it's hard to get moisture into our hair shaft. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So it's really hard to get a moisture in our hair shaft. So what we have to do is we have to be very strategic with some of the things that we do to make sure that our hair is not dry. Can natural hair be moisturized? Absolutely. Can our hair never not be dry? Absolutely, if you're being strategic and making sure that you do what you need to do to get moisture in your hair. Now, for us, moisture comes from water, okay? So remember that. Hello, Julia, thank you so much for joining. Whenever you want to get moisture into your hair, you have to always remember to use water. Natural hair, one of our best friends is water. That's your new BFF. When you come over to the natural side, water is your new BFF. I know that when you had a relaxer, we were running for cover. When it rained outside, we didn't want to get our hair wet and all of that stuff. But when you come over to the natural side, you have to learn to embrace water, okay? Water is your BFF. So the best moisturizer, the most effective moisturizer for your hair is water, okay? It is water. Don't be fooled. And I know, I may get in trouble by some brands. I may get some emails in the morning or whatever. But don't be fooled by these brands that are pushing moisturizers in your face. Buy this, which is good. You can buy your moisturizer off the shelf. That's not a problem. But if you don't know what moisturizer to use, simply grab a spray bottle, put some water in it, and put it on your hair. You have effectively moisturized your hair. Moisture comes from water. So you need to remember that. That's one of the foundational keys of natural hair, is that you need to make sure that you're getting water in your hair. Not just spraying it, because that's great, but you also want to drink it as well. We want to moisturize our hair from the inside out as well. So moisture comes from water, okay? I see you guys putting that in the comment. Yes, thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Simone. Moisture comes from water. So you want to make sure that first you grab water when you are moisturizing your hair, okay? Another thing, that if you choose to use a moisturizer that's off the shelf, you always want to make sure that that moisturizer contains water. In order for it to be a moisturizer, it has to always contain water. And I'm going to give you a secret. When you get your products, you need to always look on the back of them. The first 5 ingredients of a product matter the most because that's what's in it the most. That's the majority of the content of the product is what's in the first 5 ingredients, okay? So when you're picking out a moisturizer, you want to make sure that water is in the first 5 ingredients. If you don't see water listed as the first 5 ingredients, then we don't want to use that as a moisturizer, okay? It may help you to style your hair. It may help to do some other things, but it's not really going to be that effective in moisturizing your hair. So always when you're picking a product to moisturize your hair, it always has to contain water. Always, okay? So you may see moisturizers out here and they have all this other stuff and you don't see any water in there, then that's not what you want to go with. You want to always make sure that you are using a product that has water in it, because our hair gets its moisture from water and water-based products. So you can use a moisturizer, but it always has to make sure that it has water in it, okay? So with our hair, moisturizing is key. But what we need to understand is that moisturizing is a 2-step process. Somebody put that in the comments for me. Moisturizing is a 2-step process. So it's not okay. Well, it's okay, but not okay at the same time, for you to get water and just put it in your hair and then just go on about your business or go on to the styling phase. It's not enough just for that, but you also want to do something to seal moisture in your hair. How do we seal moisture in your hair? I'm glad you asked me. In order to seal moisture in your hair, you need to use an oil or a butter, okay? Thank you, Dallas. Moisturizing is a 2-step process. So there's a moisturizing, which is our first step, which we add water to our hair. And our second step is sealing moisture in our hair, which we add an oil or a butter to our hair on top of the water to seal the moisture that we put in our hair. I hope that makes sense. So we want to always make sure that we're moisturizing and then always make sure that we're following up by sealing moisture in our hair. Now I know that we may have been accustomed to when we were relaxed, that we always ran to oil, like oil my scalp, put oil on my hair. If it seems like it's dry, whatever, put oil on my hair. But when you come over to the natural side, you have to understand that you cannot use oil as a moisturizing product, okay? You can't. Yes, Danielle, using oil or water to make sure that you're sealing moisture into your hair. Guys, please make sure that you're sharing. I appreciate it. Share. Send me hearts if you guys can still hear me and see me okay, because the comments are now like slowing down some. So make sure that if you can hear me and see me, that you send me some hearts so I know that you can still see me and that you can still hear me well. And so when you're sealing, so you have to seal in moisture with the oil or butter. Oil and butters are just sealants. They are not moisturizers. Actually, oils and butters, they are hydrophobic, which basically means they don't like water, okay? Oils and butters, they don't like water. And so you can't use them to moisturize your hair. You can use them to seal moisture in your hair. So what happens, hi Tasha, thank you for joining. So what happens if you take an oil and you put it on your hair when your hair is dry, what you've done is you've sealed dryness into your hair. And that is the absolute last thing that you want to do, is seal dryness in your hair. We want our hair to be moisturized. So we're never just going to grab that oil and we're never just going to grab that butter and just put it right on our hair without adding moisture first, because then you seal dryness into your hair. So remember that oils and butters, they are not moisturizers. They are sealants. They seal whatever is in your hair into your hair. So if there's dryness in there, it's going to seal dryness in there. If there's moisture in there, it's going to seal moisture in your hair. So always make sure you do the 2-step process. Moisturize first. Oh, thank you so much. Do the moisture first and then follow up with the oil, okay? Because that's going to help to seal moisture into your hair. So when we get into the nitty gritty of how we're going to determine how often we need to moisturize our hair, what's our consistency pattern? Do we need to do it daily? Do we need to do it every day? And I'm about to talk about that, Dallas. I'm about to talk about the lock method and the LCO method and also the lock method. I'm going to talk about that. It's coming up like in a few seconds. So, but thank you so much for mentioning that. But when you start talking about how to develop a moisturizing regimen and exactly how to do it and what products you need to do, something that you need to determine is that you need to find out your porosity level. What is porosity? Porosity is the hair's ability to absorb and retain moisture. Basically, in a nutshell, is how your hair responds to water, okay? How do we find that out? Some people say put your hair in a strand of hair in a cup and see if it floats, if it doesn't float. Well, that test is really not effective because our hair is coated with sebum. What is sebum? Sebum is our natural oils that God put in our hair. And so our hair is already coated with that. And so if you put it in water, 9 times out of 10 it's going to float because why? Oil and water does not mix. So that test really isn't effective even though some people use it. So how I think that the best way for you to determine your porosity level and to see how your hair responds to water is just watch what it does when you wet it. Watch what it does when you put product into your hair. So when you put product into your hair, does water just sit on top of it? Like it takes your hair forever to get wet. It takes your hair forever to get moisturized. If it does that, then that means that that you have low porosity. It means that your hair repels moisture. It doesn't want to get moisture in your hair strands. But the good news about low porosity hair is that once that moisture gets inside of your hair, it's really hard to lose it. So it's like hard to get in, but then hard to get out. That's a low porosity. Yes, we see how your hair responds when it's wet. For high porosity hair, it's like as soon as you put water in your hair or any type of product, it soaks it up like a sponge. Like instantly, the hair, it just gets in your hair. Like water just gets in your hair instantly. But as soon as you put water in your hair, you notice within seconds or minutes, it's like you never put water in there whatsoever. Your hair is hair porosity. That's what high porosity, that's how my hair is. If I put water in my hair, it's going to soak it up instantly. Within a couple minutes, it's going to be gone if I don't seal the moisture into your hair. So doing that helps you to see, okay, I need to moisturize my hair daily. I need to make sure that I'm following up with the oil. I need to make sure that I'm following up with the cream. I need to make sure that I'm getting this this moisture sealed into my hair as quickly as possible for us high porosity girls, so that it doesn't hurry up and escape out, okay? So make sure that you understand how your hair responds to water. I always like to tell people that natural hair is a journey. When you come over here, it's not like, yay, I'm natural, everything is great with the world. Like, no, it's hard work because it's a mind shift. You have to shift your mind to understand that the things that you did when you had relaxed hair, they don't always work. 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna work on this natural side, okay? And so you want to make sure that you just change your mind on how you respond to your hair, and you have to get to know your hair. You have to develop this love affair with your hair and learning it from the beginning to the end so that you can use products that is going to give you the best results by knowing how your hair responds to water, okay? So we want to make sure, for number one, that we want to always make sure that we're using water or a water-based product, okay? In your hair regimen, you have to determine whether you want to use water. Hey, Renee, thank you so much for joining. Whether you're going to use water or you're going to use a water-based product, and you can switch it up sometime. Yes, and yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too, Danielle. Not only, you and your daughter, you guys have different hair porosity, but in one head, you can have 2 different hair porosities, which kind of sucks because you kind of maybe sometimes have to go about your hair regimen differently because you're trying to feed the needs of both hair types. Like my daughter, in some places in her hair, she has low porosity hair, and in some places in her hair, she has high porosity hair. So sometimes, I have to make sure that I'm doing things differently on wash day to make sure that her hair is getting all the moisture that she needs. So that's a really good point, Danielle, when you brought up about the different textures and the different porosities. We don't always just have one texture in our hair. We sometimes have to, like in the front of my hair, I have a very loose curl pattern. In some of the middle, it's a tighter curl pattern. So it's like all these different textures and all these different porosity levels that sometimes that we have in our hair. So that's why it's very important to get to know your hair, okay? You have to take time out to get to know your hair, okay? If you guys are still with me, let me see some hearts. Let me see some hearts to know that you guys are still with me. If you're getting something out of this, if this has been informational so far, Please let me know. I have that now. The front is different than the back. Yeah, Danielle, it's like that. It's like my hair has completely changed from when I first went natural. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, if hormonal changes. Like, I don't know. But my hair is like completely changing. Like I feel like when I first went natural, I had like a more consistent hair type, but now it's just like things are just like all over the place. But I know how to style effectively so that I can kind of blend all the textures in together so that like nobody kind of knows. Julie, you have 4 daughters. Bless your heart. I only have 1 and it's a lot. What is your recommendations on protective styles and how often should you wear them? Protective styles. Let me answer Dallas' question first, and then I'm going to go ahead and answer your question, Julia. And if I forget, can you please put it again in the comments? So I'm going to tell you guys another way that you can effectively moisturize your hair, and it's called the lock method. Dallas mentioned this a little while ago when she asked me what about the LCO method and the LOC method. The lock method, it was developed by Rochelle Graham. She is the CEO of Allocate Naturals, which is also a natural hair care line. But the purpose of the lock method is basically to lock and seal moisture into your hair. That's the name, lock method. And there are 2 different variations, and sometimes there's even 3 variations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for all of the compliments. Thank you so much. You guys made me feel good. Today is not a good hair day, but thank you so much. Actually, I normally wear my hair in a twist out, and last night I decided to do a braid out, which used to be my signature style when I first went natural. And so last night I was like, you know what, let me just do a braid out. And so today it was just giving me the flux, but you know, just fluff and go sometimes. But the lock method is a method that you can use to lock moisture in your hair, seal moisture into your hair, and you do it in 3 steps. The L, which is the liquid, like we talked about before. Remember that our hair needs moisture, so we use water, or you can use a water-based product. Generally, with the lock method, you will either use water or you'll use a leave-in conditioner. Always, all the time, I've never ran into a leave-in conditioner that does not contain water. So you're safe if you use a leave-in conditioner for your L step. And then it's O, which is your oil. Any type of oil you want to use, my recommendation is always to use a lighter oil, especially if you have fine hair, because you don't want to weigh your hair down. If you have a thicker hair texture, then any oil that you use will be good. Some light oils, because I have a finer hair texture, I usually go with like a coconut oil or a sweet almond oil or jojoba oil. And I like to use jojoba oil because it's similar to our natural oil sebum. So jojoba oil is a really good oil to use instilling moisture in your hair. And then C is cream, and so you can use any cream-based product you want. You can use a butter, you can use a moisturizing cream. Some people even use their styling creams as the C. So basically what you do is you create these 3 levels which lock moisture in your hair. So you have the liquid, you put that on your hair, and then you want to seal that liquid in by going in with the oil, and then you want to seal that oil in by going in with the cream. So you have these barriers of moisture or barriers of protection that helps from letting that moisture escape from your hair. Now, how you choose to, then there's also the lock method, like Dallas was happening, and then there's also the LCO. And so it's the liquid, and then instead of going with the oil, you do with the cream, and then after that, you do the oil. To me, I've used both. I've used the lock method and I've used the LCO method. And for me, I don't see a difference. That's just me. I don't see a difference in the 2. So I think Dallas is all based on preference and how your hair responds. Okay. So if your hair responds better to the LCO method, then I would say use the LCO method. If it responds better to, because I know some people don't use the lock method because they feel that it doesn't keep their hair moisturized. But then I know people that go and use the LCO method and then they feel that their hair is able to retain more of the moisture. So I think it's more on preference and your hair type and how your hair responds to the products that you're using. There's no right or wrong way. It's whatever you use, because I also know some people that do the LOCO method. So it's just whatever your hair, however your hair responds to it. But it's now no right or wrong way, Dallas. No right or wrong way at all to do it. So I hope that answers your question, Dallas. If it didn't, please let me know and I will try to clarify. Julia, you asked me about protective styling. Protective styling. Okay, so here's the big thing, and then we'll get back into what we're talking about today. But protective styling is basically you just protecting your hair, giving your hair a break. You don't feel like doing no hair. Okay, good. Good, Dallas. You don't feel like doing your hair for a while, you just want to put it away. But these are some things I want to tell you about protective styling very, very quick. Just because your hair is out of sight, that does not mean your hair is out of mind. A lot of us get messed up with protective stylings is that we put the weave, braids, wigs, crochet, whatever you choose to use as a protective style. We put these things in our hair, and what we do is we fail to take care of our hair underneath, and that's a big no-no, because the whole idea behind protective styling is to make sure that your hair is protecting. You want your hair to be healthy going into that protective style, and you want your hair to be healthy going out of that protective style. So in order to do that, you still want to make sure that you're taking care of your hair. How can I take care of my hair while my hair is in a protective style? I'm so glad you asked me. You need to make sure that you're moisturizing your hair. Before you do a protective style, make sure that your hair is healthy and your hair is strong and it's very moisturized. Yes, you have to make sure. Is it Joetta? I hope I pronounced it. I always hate to say people names because I don't want to pronounce it wrong. But if I pronounce your name wrong, I'm so sorry. But yeah, you have to make sure that you are protecting your hair. Oh, I see people that get these braids and wigs and all of this stuff, and when they take their hair down, their hair is in a worse situation. And you don't want to do that. You want your hair to be in a better situation, if not the same situation. Okay, great. When you take the protective style. So make sure that you're taking care of your hair. As a rule of thumb for me, this is just me, before I do any protective style on my hair, I make sure I do a very good deep conditioner. I make sure that my hair is fully moisturized, or I do a protein treatment to make sure that my hair is very, very strong. And after I do that, I make sure that I do the lock method, that I'm getting moisture in my hair and I'm sealing moisture into my hair. And then after that, then I proceed to, are all wigs okay? Are wigs and all okay? Yes, Dallas, wigs, there's nothing wrong with the wigs as long as you're taking care of your hair underneath, as long as you make sure that your hair is moisturized. I am a wig queen. I have not protective style in a while, and it's almost time for me to protective style, and I haven't just because we just relaunched our brand in November, and so right now I am the face of the brand, and so most people want to know how our products work. Well, they can find out by how my hair looks a lot of the time, and so I've been wearing my hair out. But when I don't wear my hair, my protective styling of choice is wigs, because I like the freedom of being able to put it on and take it off at night. You know, sew-ins, I can't always take them off. You know, you can't take them off right away. And so, yes, wigs are fine, perfectly fine. Just make sure that you're taking care of your hair. My thing is when I take my wig off at night or before I put it on in the morning, I'm spritzing it with water. Following up with the oil or a cream to make sure that I'm keeping my hair moisturized. Taking care of my scalp. One way that you can take care of your scalp when you have a protective style is to go ahead and use, if you don't want to wash your hair, you can wash it. Depends on the type of protective style that you have. But if you don't want to, just take witch hazel in a cotton ball, go all over your scalp. After that, take another cotton ball with water and wipe the witch hazel off, and it keeps your hair clean. It keeps your hair from the debris and from all of the buildup that can go on in your hair when you have a protective style. So you want to keep your scalp as clean as you can while you have protective styles, and then you also want to make sure that you moisture your hair. I hope that answered your question. Oh, thank you so much, Joetta. Yes, y'all, I love wigs too. Because I could be a new girl every day if I want to be. So yes, wigs are amazing, but you just want to make sure that you're keeping your hair protected. Joetta, how often do I wash my hair? I wash my hair every 3 weeks. And I co-wash in between. Okay, so I co-wash in between and I deep condition in between. So it's up to you, you know, with natural hair, you know, there are things that you are supposed to do. Of course, you need to keep your hair clean. Of course, you're supposed to deep condition and all of that, but how often you do it is per your lifestyle, what's convenient for you and how your hair responds. So for me, I don't use a whole lot of product on my hair, so I don't need to wash every week, you know what I'm saying? But I do co-wash and I do deep condition more often than I actually shampoo my hair. I miss the way my hair lays down with gel when I am doing a ponytail. When I am doing a permanent, I can't find the gel. Trisha, I hope I say your name correct. Trisha, for a good edge controller, that's what you're asking me for. I use, is it Impro? Shine Jam. It's a really good one in the winter. Because, you know, you don't have all the humidity, but you can use that in the winter time if you're, you know, in a cold area right now. Shine Jam is a really good one. Cream of Nature has an argan edge control that's also really good. And if you have very, very stubborn edges, you can use Gorilla Snot. Gorilla Snots will have your edges all the way snatched. That is my go-to edge control when my hair doesn't want to lay down and when in the summer. So I hope that answers your question, Tricia. I usually wear the wet look. I wear my hair really short, and the reason being is because my hair, when I grow in my wedding, gets too much. What do you read? Okay, Carla, you said that your hair is not growing in the front. Is it, okay, you say your hair is not growing. Okay, that did help you. Okay, Carla, you say your hair is not growing. Unless, do you have, like, is it thinning? Is it bald? Is it something of that? Can you help me? Thank you so much, Dallas. If you guys want more information about my products, Dallas just put it in the comment. My website is she'snaturale.com. All of our products are there. My wedding gets too much. No, you're not wedding it too much. I don't think that your wedding gets too much. If your hair is just, okay, let me just say this, because it was so much I wanted to say to you, Carla, at one time, but my mind was going like a million miles a minute. I love this. I love the interactions and the questions. And Dallas, I hope this is okay, because it's taking us a little out of our topic. But if you're okay with it, I love it. I told you I could answer hair questions all night, but I'm not going to hold you guys long. But Carla, for your hair, natural hair generally, it's always growing, okay? So when people say to me, my hair is not growing, well, that's not true. Okay, your hair is thinning, okay? So we need to find out why your hair is thinning, okay? Is your hair thinning because it's genetics? It's hereditary? Are you putting too much tension on your hair? Okay, thank you, Dallas. Are you putting too much tension on your hair? It could be many reasons why your hair could be thinning. And so if it's like a genetic or medical type of situation, that I really can't speak to that because I'm not a doctor. And so I would tell you to like reach out to your doctor. And I also have a a DIY treatment that I offer to clients and stuff that I work with. It's a black tea rinse that's really good for thinning. If you want, reach out to me after this and I will send you that. I've known many people that I have recommended that to, that's just like, my hair is thinning and is shedding really, really bad. And I've started using this black tea rinse that you make at home on your own. And it works really, really well. Well, if you're right, yeah, Joetta, if you're doing medication or any of those type of things, those all contribute to your hair thinning. So if it's that, then I don't really necessarily have any recommendations that I can give you. But if it's because of like tension, because you used to wear braids a lot or used to put a lot of tension in one specific area of your hair, then you can use Jamaican black castor oil. Jamaican black castor oil is for thinning hair. Me, when I first had my son, which my son will be 5, my edges, they disappeared. I mean, I don't know where they went, but they just disappeared. From postpartum shedding, I guess they just disappeared. I mean, really, naturally, genetically, the women in our family, we have thin edges anyway, but these edges, they were just not there. And I literally grew my edges back by using Jamaican black castor oil on a consistent basis, And so, if you use Jamaican black castor oil on a consistent basis with that spot that's thinning, just go ahead and keep rubbing. I mean, not rubbing, massaging. I would try to massage it twice a day. I would use the Jamaican black castor oil twice a day. And you should be able to see results from that. So I hope that helps you out. You offer a starter kit, like an introduction to your signature products. Trisha, on my website, we do offer a sample pack of our products. You would get a 2 ounce of all of the products that we have except for our body butter. So in our sample pack, you would get our Meant to Be Clean Conditioning Cleanser, which is a shampoo, a cleanser. You would get our Thirsty Curls Moisturizing Strengthening Conditioner, which is, conditioner. You would get our Give Me Curls, which is a styling gel. You would get our Curl Me Up Defining Styling Cream, which is a defining styling cream, and then you'll get our hair butter. So you'll get 5 products that for 2 ounces. You'll get them all together in a pack. On our website, it's called the She Sample Pack, and so you'll be able to try out all of our products at a low cost, and so you can decide which ones you like. I need the black seed rinse again, if you don't mind. Okay, Renee, no problem. Just send me inbox me, Renee. Inbox me. Okay, thank you. I got something like that. Okay, yeah, Carla. Yes, use it consistently. Consistency is the key. So make sure that you're using it consistently. You're not going to see results like this, but you will see it if you keep using it. I'm telling you, I grew my edges back from that. Okay. All right. And so I don't even remember where I was in my notes. But we were talking about moisturizing. Oh, we were talking about the lock method. So one of the ways that you can get moisture and seal moisture into your hair is by doing the lock method. The lock method helps to seal moisture in your hair. Like Dallas was saying, you can either use the LCO method or you can use the lock method. How often should you do it? It's up to you. So I'm going to give you guys like a little breakdown of what I do to moisturize my hair and how consistent that I do it. So it can kind of help you to develop your own basic moisturizing regimen. And the only reason why I call it a regimen is because I want you to get in the mindset of doing this consistently, okay? And understanding that it may vary from person to person, but the rules of the game is still the same. How you do it is up to you, but you still have to follow these basic rules to make sure that you're getting moisture into your hair. So first, you need to determine what type of product you want to use to get moisture into your hair. Water is the most effective. You know, as we talked about before, our hair loves water. It craves it. It's our BFF. Or you can use a water-based products. Leave-ins are always good. And then one thing I love about leave-ins is that you can use them every single day if you want to, without the hair becoming overly saturated with conditioner, because they are built to use every single day. Or you can use a moisturizer that you find on the market. Just remember to make sure you check the ingredients to be sure that it has water in it. Like, for example, there's a difference between moisturizer and moisturizing. A moisturizing product is basically has properties in it or ingredients that are considered to be moisturizing, so it can help seal moisture into your hair or give your hair moisturizing benefits, but the product itself is not moisturizing. Case in point, our hair butter is a moisturizing butter. Why? Because we use oils in it that have moisturizing properties, but we don't market it as a moisturizer because there's no water in it. Hope that makes sense. So you'll see something, you know, on at the store, and it'll be like moisturizing hair cream. Well, that's not a moisturizer. It just has moisturizing properties in it, you know, and so you can use it to seal moisture in your hair. You can use it and know that it's going to add some moisture to your hair, but it's not going to necessarily moisturize it. So I hope that makes sense. So like our hair butter, like I said, it's not a moisturizer, but it does lock and seal moisture into your hair, okay? So for me, when I'm moisturizing my hair, as a rule of thumb for me, because I have determined and understood, can I explain co-wash? Absolutely. Co-washing is just basically washing your hair with conditioner. That's all that it is. Conditioners, a lot of conditioners that are on the market, they are strong enough to gently and mildly clean your hair. So if you don't have a lot of product buildup, you don't have a lot of oils and butters and all this stuff in your hair, you don't sweat a lot, all of that, then you can use a co-wash to wash your hair, and your hair is going to be clean. The thing with a lot of shampoos that are on the market, they have harsh chemicals and harsh detergents in them, which you know, strip the natural oils from your hair. So when you're using a shampoo, you want to try to stay away from sulfate shampoos, and goes with those that say sulfate free. Sulfates are just basically detergents, harsh detergents that are in the hair that strip your hair of its natural oil sebum, and we want to keep that oil in our hair as much as we can. So that's why we want to try to stay away from shampoos that have sulfates in them. And so with your co-washing, you just basically use a conditioner, any type of conditioner that you want to use, except you don't want to use a deep conditioner to co-wash your hair. You don't want to use a mask to co-wash your hair. You want to just use a wash out conditioner, something that you put in your hair, leave on 1 or 2 minutes, and you take it out. But of course, when you're washing your hair with it, you don't have to leave it in your hair. You just go through the motions like you do when you shampoo, but you're using a conditioner for that. So I hope that makes sense. What about frizzy hair? My daughter's hair get frizzy. Some hair is just naturally frizzy. Danielle. And this, you may see some products on the market that say it helps with that, but I do know that coconut oil is really good to use for frizzy hair. When you're braiding and you're twisting and you're doing a twist out, you're doing a style that has to be unraveled, always use an oil. Oil helps minimize a frizz. Another thing is that when your hair is dry, leave it alone. When your hair is wet and you're styling, like if you're doing a wash and go, a lot of us have what we call hand and hair disease. That means that we're always putting our hands in our hair. But when you're styling your hair after you've put the products in your hair, you've done whatever you're going to do, braid it, twist it, or you're just putting the styler in your hair to define your curls, you want to leave your hair alone, because the more you touch it, the more you play with it, the more frizzy it's going to be. So leave it alone, okay? Once you do what you need to do to style your hair, like if you're doing a wash and go while you're waiting for those curls to dry, leave it alone. You do it a ponytail, you did a twist, whatever, just leave it alone, okay? And then once you leave it alone, then just let it do what it do. And then go ahead, when you're like always untwisting, always unraveling, you want to use some type of oil. Coconut oil is really good to use for that. Joanna, thank you so much. Danielle, you're very welcome. I hope that helps. Hope that helps you out. And so for me, when I'm moisturizing my hair, we're almost done. I know that it's late. I don't want to leave, don't want to keep you guys long, but I do want to make sure that I answer everybody's question that is on here. Again, I am so happy for the opportunity. Thank you so much, Danielle. Thank you so much, Dallas, for the platform. And thank you, ladies, for asking your questions. Keep them coming if you have them. I don't mind answering natural hair questions. As I told you guys in the beginning, that natural hair is my coffee. It's what wakes me up. It gets me excited. So I love all things natural hair. But for me, when it comes to moisturizing, basically what I do after, say this is just not a wash day. If it is a wash day, I just do my basic wash day. My moisturizing regimen is the same all the time. I don't really deter from it pretty much. Like I said, I've been natural for a long time. I'm really coasting in my natural hair journey. I know what my hair loves. I know what it needs. I know when it's doing, certain things, I know all of that. And so I kind of know what to do and what not to do. But that doesn't mean we all know that. And like I said, it took a very long time for me to learn this stuff, but it can be done. The journey has been well worth it. But for me, after I do my washing and my deep conditioning and all of that, while my hair is wet, I'll go ahead and I'll apply the leave-in conditioner. This is when you do the lock method. When my hair is wet, so I'll go apply my leave-in conditioner. After I apply a leave-in conditioner, I apply an oil to my hair. For me, I have an oil blend, and the oil blend that I make for my hair, which we will have this on the market soon, but the oil blend that I have is just, I mix a couple oils together. You can mix any oil that you want to mix together. There's really no science behind it, but you want to make sure that, it's not a very thick oil. If you have, thin hair, if you have, oh my God, what is the word I'm trying to use? If your hair is, y'all, I cannot think of the word. Not thick hair, but fine. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. So if you have fine hair, you want to try to avoid using thick oils for your hair. But then you just apply an oil to your hair. After I apply my oil mixture to my hair, then I go in and I put in on our hair butter in our hair. Like I said, the cream stage is a C, but you can also use the oil. So it's a cream or oil. That's what I use in my hair, and I lock that oil in my hair. How long does that last me? When I do the lock method, I only have to do it. It lasts me until the next time I either co-wash or I shampoo my hair. That's effective for me, but you may find that before you do the next wash day, you may have to do the lock method over again. That's good. I don't think that you should have to do the lock method every single day. If your hair is chronically dry, if you're moisturizing your hair, this is something else I want to bring out to you. If you're moisturizing your hair, moisturizing and stilling your hair every single day, and you're still finding out that your hair is dry, it's not the method that you're using. It may be the products that you are using. So you have to be very careful with that. You can be doing all the right things, but you could be using the wrong things. So if you're moisturizing your hair every day and you're still seeing that your hair is dry, what are you moisturizing your hair with? Are you moisturizing your hair with a moisturizer? Are you using water, or are you using oils? How are you sealing your hair? And then if the products that you are using, check the ingredients. Make sure they don't have drying ingredients. Some drying ingredients that some of our products have are mineral oils, alcohols, cones, petroleum, all of those type of things. They snatch moisture from our hair. So you want to make sure, and not only your moisturizing products, you want to make sure of that for your styling products as well, because some of those things that you can be using on your hair can be defeating the whole moisturizing process that you're going through. So you want to be very, very conscious about that to make sure that you're using the right oils. The right stuff when you're moisturizing. I noticed that my scalp is more itchy since I went natural. I think that your scalp is just breathing. No, I'm just playing, Alice. If you're noticing that you have more of an itchy scalp, you can use tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is wonderful. When you're using tea tree oil, please When you're using tea tree oil in its natural form, please remember that it is very, very strong. So you always want to dilute tea tree oil. You never just want to take tea tree oil in its pure form and just apply it to your scalp, because your scalp is going to be burning. You're going to irritate your scalp and you're going to have an issue and a problem. So we don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that you mix it with a carrier oil. So like coconut oil, sweet almond oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, all of that stuff. Mix it in together and then just apply it to your oil, to your hair. You can also mix it with a jojoba oil, and you can mix that together and then just put it on your scalp and massage it in first. Okay. And that should help you with your itchy scalp. And then also too, sometimes, Dallas, you just kind of want to pay attention. If you like, maybe you've used a new product on your hair, maybe that you've never used before, your scalp sometimes can be having a reaction to it. It could, maybe it don't like it, it may be irritating it. So pay attention to that too. Like pay attention to when your hair is really itchy. So is it like you apply this product to your hair, say it's a cream or a hairstyling product, and then your scalp just then starts acting up? It could be from that, or if you use a particular shampoo, a conditioner, it could also be irritating it. So pay attention to when your hair tends to really itch, because it could be a product irritation that you're using, or it could just simply be that you're just having some issues with your scalp. And so make sure that you're keeping your scalp clean, that you're keeping it, you know, well nourished and stuff like that. And then try that tea tree oil. I think that should help you out. I'm excited to see what's coming on Girl Power. I love tea tree oil. You rock queen. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I really hope that all of this stuff helps you on keeping your hair moisturized. And like I said, it's all about, when you're developing your moisturizing regimen, it's all about, you know, using the correct things, which is water and a water-based product to get that moisture in your hair. And then it's about sealing. Maybe you need to drink more water. Yeah, drink water. Water is good. Yeah, that's also too. I want to talk about that a little bit. And I think I mentioned it before. You know, you want to make sure that you're hydrating your hair from the inside too, and that we're not neglecting our drinking of water, because that also has an effect on your hair too. Like I said, you could always be doing, you could be doing the right things and then, or right steps, but then that's, you may have to make some adjustments in what you're doing. And so yeah, Dallas, you may need to drink more water. If you are drinking adequate water, it could just be that some things are just irritating your scalp, or you can just have dry scalp. Some people just battle with dry scalp, but there are things out there that you can use. And I will also send you a scalp treatment that is really effective. I use it on my daughter's hair. It has jojoba oil in it. I think it has aloe vera gel, jojoba oil, and tea tree. I think that's the 3 ingredients. I just started using it on here, so I don't know verbatim. Like, I'm always like trying to search DIY stuff I don't make and don't know how to make. I'll be trying to search it out, you know, to find out how I can make it myself, and I don't have to give nobody else my coins. That's how I'm trying to figure it out. So yeah, you can try those things, Dallas, and I hope that they help you out. But for just developing a quick hair regimen, it's just all about getting that moisture into your hair, and then just developing a quick and just doing it on a consistent basis. For me, I moisturize my hair every day. I spritz my hair with water without fail. It's not a day that goes by that I don't put water in my hair. Whether it's, you know, taking a spray bottle, or whether it's, you know, just running my hair under the sink and just applying water to my hair really quick. And then after that, I always follow it up with our hair butter, and then I style. Right before I style my hair, I put water on it and some of our butter. Because my hair, I have high porosity hair, like, you know, that moisture gets really into my hair, but it leaves really quick. So I don't want to play no games with dry hair. So I just make sure that I keep my hair moisturized, and that's my moisturizing regimen. Spritz my hair every day, seal it with an oil or a butter. And that's what I do every single day. And I keep my hair moisturized, and I make sure that I'm getting deep conditioning treatments in too. That's very important, because that also helps to keep your hair moisturized. And so don't skip out on deep conditionings. I know some of us, we are pressed for time, and we don't have a lot of time to do a lot of things, and you don't want wash a day to be all day, and I get that. But deep conditionings is really good for you to do, because that also helps to keep your hair moisturized. Don't skip out on your leave-in conditioners. After you shampooed and conditioned, before you start styling, go go ahead and put a leave-in conditioner. All of those things help to keep moisture in your hair. So whatever you do with your natural hair journey, you always want to make sure that you do things consistently. Consistency is key. If you research any of these natural hair gurus, if you follow any of their journeys, you're going to find out that consistency was the key. Moisturizing and consistency was the key. Okay, and of course there's other things that you do that helps that along, but those are the foundations of natural hair: moisturizing and consistency. I found those things to be true through my own natural hair journey. And so, you know, you have to always remember that dry hair equals brittle hair, and brittle hair equals damage. And brittle hair equals breakage. And when your hair is broken, then it is damaged, and then you're gonna not be able to retain length. And so it's all tied together. And so you want to make sure that you keep your hair moisturized. Okay. And so I hope you guys got something out of our quick hair talk on tonight that can help you, and that you can go and apply it to your own hair journeys to be able to achieve your own hair goals. Have a hair goal. You know, one of the things that keeps me motivated in my natural hair journey, but don't get it twisted, every once in a while I'll be like, it'd be so easier to go back to having a relaxer. But I love my hair so much. Like, I am in such a good place in my natural hair journey. And I haven't reached my hair goals by, all of my hair goals by far, but I've reached a lot of them, and I'm really pleased with my hair. But it took consistency, and it took me getting to know my hair, and just developing a love affair, with my hair. We have to learn to love our hair. The more you love it, it's gonna love you back. The more you pour into it and you give to it, it's going to give, back to you. So you just want to make sure that you keep your hair moisturized. I can't stress that enough. If you've ever been on any of my lives on my business platform, you'll always hear me say, or the majority of the tips that I give out is all around moisture, because when our hair isn't moisturized, it starts to break. And that's the last thing we want. We want to be #hair goals. We want to have #hair length. So all of that. So you want to remember that health is always over length. You know what I'm saying? You want to always making sure that you're doing what's needed and necessary to make sure that you keep the health of your hair. So that's my spiel for tonight. I hope I stay in my time limit. If I didn't, Dallas, I'm sorry if I went over. I appreciate you guys so much for jumping in on tonight and for rocking with me, especially you East Coasters, because I know that the hour can be a little late. Thank you again, Dallas, for giving me the opportunity to be on this platform, Girls Power Ignite. And for those of you who came in late, if you are not following Dallas Gordon, you are missing something. You need to make sure that you are following her, friend request her, whatever. She is a powerhouse. I love Dallas. I've been following her for a very, very long time, and I'm grateful for her. And please make sure that you're following the Girls Power Ignite movement and their page here on Facebook. Get connected to them, be a part of their mailing list, so you can see and know all of the fabulous things that they're doing. They're over there empowering women to be together and to connect and to collab, and that's what we need. So make sure that you join the movement. Why not? Join the movement. This movement is something positive. Thanks again. I've gotten build a better relationship with my hair and not the quick, easy fixes of the week. Yeah. No, and I'm not telling you, Carla, not to wear weave, because I'm not, by all. Like, please wear weave, wear wigs. I'm one of those naturals. I feel like, there's a lot of information out here to know, and I'm going to pass you the information that I know. But at the end of the day, you have to do what is best for your hair. There's just some things that I don't do to my hair because I don't think that it works for me. You know what I'm saying? And there's some things that I do other people don't do because it doesn't work for them. So you have to find out what works for you. Take this information, find out what works for you. If wigs work for you, great, but make sure that you're taking care of your hair. You know what I'm saying? And not just like, I don't feel like dealing with my hair, so I'm just gonna put a wig on or get some weave and then my hair is gonna be all right. No, ma'am, because when you take your hair down, you still gotta deal with that hair. You know what I'm saying? We might as well take care of our hair. You gotta wear it every day. And even if you choose to hide it, you still got to deal with it at some point in your life. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well take care of your hair, but give your hair a break. You know, everybody's hair needs a break every once in a while. And so wigs and all of that stuff, where you just want to change up your look, that's fabulous to do. But just always make sure that you, just because your hair is out of sight, it's not out of mind. So just know, in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 2 months, a couple weeks, these braids, this wig is coming out, and I got to deal with this stuff on top of my head.